for the debate. I recognize the member from Orleans.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. It's an honour to rise and have an opportunity to speak to the Cutting Taxes and Small Businesses Act put forward by my colleague from Don Valley West. Excuse me. Legislation, Madam Speaker, that if adopted would cut the small business tax in half. Now, this will help save small businesses up to $18,000 a year. And in fact, all of the small business owners in the heart of Orleans and across the province that I've spoken to welcome the opportunity to save $18,000 a year, Madam Speaker. But this, of course, is not the only tax our Ontario Liberal team has proposed to cut. We have proposed providing families with a tax credit for sports and extracurricular activities that they put their children in. This is an important tax cut because obviously it will allow more kids to play sports, but as kids play more sports, what do they need, Madam Speaker? They need to buy cleats, and they need to buy water bottles, and they need to spend money in the local economy, providing more opportunities for small business to benefit from their participation in sports. Moreover, Madam Speaker, last fall, when this government was complaining and writing letters to the Prime Minister, we proposed that they actually take action to provide tax relief to families. We proposed that the government cut HST from home heating, a tax cut that had they implemented, had they taken our advice last year, would have saved Ontario families hundreds of dollars. That's money that they would have had last year, that's money that they'll have next year, and that's money that they would have had every year going forward. Now, Madam Speaker, I think that my family is a pretty average representation of families across Ontario, and I pulled up my energy bills this afternoon, and that tax cut would have saved our relatively average family $300 last year. It would have saved our family about $300 next year and every year going forward, and that is a tax cut that this government did not support. So imagine, Madam Speaker, what an Ontario family could have done with an additional $250 or $300 in their collective family pocket. Well, Madam Speaker, I anticipate that they might have used that money and bought some products and services from local small businesses, providing even additional support to the small businesses in our community that we rely on. But of course, this Conservative government voted against that particular tax cut. So not surprisingly, Madam Speaker, the government who has ballooned the provincial debt by over $100 billion in just 6 years is also voting against tax cuts that would help families and small businesses. And when small businesses are doing better, Madam Speaker, when they pay less tax, when local families have more in their pocket to spend on small businesses, you know what happens, Madam Speaker? More people in Ontario have a job because those small businesses hire our friends and our neighbours, and many of those small businesses hire young people in our community. And so, given that they're voting against tax cuts and they're ringing up the biggest debt in the history of Ontario, it's not shocking that unemployment in Ontario is actually up under this government, Madam Speaker. Unemployment in Ontario is up since this government took office. There are, in fact, 100,000 more Ontarians unemployed today than the day the Premier and his government got elected. In addition to that, Madam Speaker, youth unemployment is up. Many small businesses hire young people in our community to serve our neighbours and our friends. Youth unemployment has gone from 11.6% to 15%, Madam Speaker. So not only are more people unemployed, but they're also unemployed for longer. Long-term unemployment is up dramatically, Madam Speaker. What's long-term unemployment? Long-term unemployment is unemployment for 27 weeks or more. Since this government has been elected, long-term unemployment has almost doubled, going from 44,000 to 80,000 people, Madam Speaker. Tax cuts give families more money in their pocket, which allows them to spend more money in the economy, which allows them to go to small businesses and give them patronage. When small businesses also have more money in their pocket because they're paying less tax, they can use all of that additional revenue, all of that tax support to hire more of our friends and neighbours, putting more money into the economy. That's why Ontario Liberals are the tax cut.
Thank you. Order. Thank you.